I'm reaching to the sky, just spread it out and let it grow. Never do a thing because somebody say you know.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Underground Scholars. Health is wealth. Today we got a cool lineup. We got the homie Luis Munoz. Let me go ahead and tap on his screen right quick and let him open up his mic. We got Luis Munoz in the house today. He's one of our underground scholars over here in Santa Barbara. He's going to be breaking down a bunch of different, methods to stay healthy. He's been really helping myself and my wife and just a lot of the neighbors on different routines and different eating habits. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Luis and let him introduce himself and kick this off. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. It's an honor. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate everyone else taking time out of their day to be here. I know it's different times, and we're doing things a little differently, but I just want to say again, thank you for making the time to be here. And my name is Luis Munoz. I'm a Santa Barbara City College transfer student, and I guess the most important thing I can say as an introduction, being Ryan's neighbor here. Before meeting Ryan, I didn't really feel like I was a part of any kind of family. I really felt alone and isolated. And after meeting Ryan and being taken into the Underground Scholars, I really felt like a part of something. And I feel like I'm definitely a part of a family and something that's bigger than myself. So I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to meet Ryan. And I'm a transfer student, and I'm about 3/4 away from finishing my major in communications, where I'll have a bachelor's. And that'll be a big step for myself. Other than my mother, who came all the way from Mexico, I'll be the only one in my family to have a degree and at that level, the university level. And boy, man, the obstacles that I've had to overcome have just been immaculate, and to be here is just a real blessing today. Starting back in 2014, 2015, I went through a real tough patch in my life. I was dealing with alcoholism and substance abuse, and I was really like losing myself, and I felt like I had completely hit rock bottom. So I started taking my pops bikes out for cruises early in the morning, and kind of just trying to like figure out what was going on and doing something healthy for myself. I figured, I can't go wrong biking, easy. I like to do it, been doing it my whole life. And as I was biking one morning, I came across White Murphy Park, which is right there located in Santa Barbara. It's an outdoor fitness park. And, I said, well, that's interesting, So I went and did a couple pull-ups, yada, yada. I had no idea that it was going to spiral out of control into a full-on, community project. So while I was going to school, I was providing free group workouts there, and getting to know the community, getting to know foreigners, formerly incarcerated like myself, or other individuals that were just systematically impacted. So then began my journey and helping others in the community. And it just exploded. One thing led to another. And before you know it, we had, days where we had 30, 40 people showing up to the park. I didn't even have enough mentors, and just not enough time myself to get to everyone. So things got really overwhelmed for me as I had my son, and transferring over to university. Pandemic hit. The workouts haven't been going on, but I definitely want to get back into that. So I'm gonna break down to you how it all started and where it all began. I think Ryan has a PowerPoint presentation that I'd like to share with you all. So without further ado, here we go. It's pulling it up. Oh, yeah. So Um, this guy here, okay. Yeah, so here we have a picture of my group. This was about the first year. This is the core originals. A lot of a couple formerly incarcerated, I bet say half formerly incarcerated, the rest just community individuals just decided to come by as I was shouting. You can see me on the left-hand side of the screen there. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I made a pretty big commotion, all in the name of health. So I went from negative to positive, and I was basically showing that anybody could do it. Coming from a past where I was homeless, I was raised homeless on the streets with my parents. My mother was from Mexico. My father, he had mental illnesses. He was bipolar, and it really affected him in getting a job. So my dad's never held a job in his life. If it wasn't for my mother, we'd still be on the streets today. And yeah, I remember the other day I was reminiscing with my brother in the Malibu parking lot. I remember the light was flickering above me, and I was thinking, man, I don't think any other kid should be in 5th grade and sleeping in parking lots in Malibu. And that I didn't have any family, no one out to really back me up. So I went and started hanging out with the East Side Traviesos right here in Santa Barbara. When I was about 14 years old, I met them at the football meet as a freshman. And one thing led to another. I started drinking up with the homies, and then next thing you know, I started getting locked up, violation of probation, on the run. And I ended up in boys camp. I AWOL'd, booked it, and I did like about a year that when I was about 15. I got out, violated probation again for an assault. Assault with a deadly weapon causing great bodily injury. Ended up back in juvenile again with 3 years of YA suspension hanging over my head. So I had to do 4 months in juvenile hall, and then another 6 months as my second term in boys camp. And that's when it all kind of hit me. And I realized that if I didn't start making some decisions soon, that I would be throwing my life away. And so, so coming from that background, I was able to be a credible messenger and bring a lot of attention. So that's what you're seeing here is just the beginning. So this was just it became a vision once I started working out the bars, and people just started coming and showing up. I said, oh man, this is something really positive for the community that the community really needs. So I said, man, if you build it, they will come. So I just kept putting more energy into it, creating t-shirts, apparel, and just learning from other people like that were in the same, basically same place as I was. They were trying to change themselves as nothing is impossible. And that's the main thing that everyone should always take away from this, is like knowing that you can do anything in your life if you put your mind to it. And it's like, I know it sounds really cliche, but nothing is possible. And I'm like spitting proof that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. I would have never dreamed when I was sitting in that picture that I would be here where I'm at today at the university level, studying communication. So yeah, nothing is impossible. Always believe in yourself. And my brother, he's my blood brother. He's on the right-hand side. He's the second to the last gentleman with the smaller shorts there. And he's definitely someone that I influence. And he was at one point throwing up gang signs. He wanted to be just like me. He got suspended in 4th grade for drawing East Side on his notes and having a whole page of East Side tag. And I decided to change my ways, and he followed me into the bars, and I was able to be a credible messenger for him as well, because he really looked up to me. So people seeing me and my brother together and the group that we brought together, as well as my business partner, Danny, started to pick up. You can go ahead and change the slide down. Brian, please. So this is the second year of bar life. And for the purpose of this first meeting, I'm just basically running us through a timeline. The next Health is Wealth events will be based more on hands-on, teaching you guys, more of like eating habits and stuff like that. I just wanted to cover it all so you guys see where I came from and where it all started, where I started, where the health is wealth motto, where I got it from. So the second year of our life, we continued to grow, and we started to have females showing up more often. We were getting different age groups, people of all fitness levels. I mean, I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, get money, all ages welcome. So I think by putting that passion into that and believing in other people and telling people to come down for free, there was no strings attached. It was just a good time out in the sun. People really drawn into that. And it blew up, and one thing led to another. And I met incredible people from all around the world, and then incredible people here in my community that they have been here, older cats and younger cats alike that have been here. I've been on the same, block as them, and I haven't even never talked to them. So it was really good connecting with all these people, encouraging them, and learning that we can only really grow as individuals if we're helping other people, in whatever aspect that may be. Whatever you can do to, do something positive is always gonna build yourself up as well as helping someone else. So okay, you can go ahead and change the slide here, please, Ryan. Appreciate that. So what you saw, basically those two slides, none of that would have happened if it wasn't for the credible messenger, Matt Sanchez. He was a mentor in my life, and he was basically the first person that ever told me health is wealth. And seeing the picture, it gets me real emotional, because he was one of the only people that believed in me at one point in my life. It was only him and my mother, they were ever showing me any love. So excuse me. By having someone that believed in me, I started to believe in myself, and he planted the seed of knowledge that nothing is impossible, and that I was actually worth something, because for a long time I didn't feel like I was worth anything. So he passed away a few years ago due to cancer, and he was a really big person in my life. He awarded me through the county here. I got an award of achievement for helping others while I was mentoring with him. This was about when I was 16, 17. We were going snowboarding and trying all these, unique different experiences. And I was always bringing my homies on board and, telling them, hey, dog, like, we can always go do that, but let's just try this one time, and by getting other people on board, Matt really saw me as a leader, and he really taught me to believe in myself. And if it wasn't for him, I would never be where I'm at. I owe a lot of devotion to him, and I continue to do what I do, and I want to help people more than anything in the world because of him. And it's funny because Ryan reminds me a lot of Matt Sanchez, very caring individual with a big heart. And we're trying to, get as many people motivated to make that step, make that leap of faith to change their life around, and believe in themselves, because there's nothing more powerful than the power of believing in your actions. Because once you start believing in yourself, you can make anything happen. Like I said, I'll keep saying it, said it once, and I'll keep saying it again. And I believe that with mentors, especially youth at a young age, I was working with a lot of individuals at the bars, and I feel like when they're at a young age, especially in their late teens, they're at a very tender age where they're absorbing a lot of knowledge. And if you could be the one to plant the seed, even if you can change one person's life, that was Matt's whole role as a credible messenger. If he could change one person's life, then he was doing his job. And he didn't see where I got to sprout to, but I'm sure he'd be extremely proud of me. And I know he watches over me, and he connected me with Ryan somehow. And I know his spirit watches over me, and I love him to death, and think about him a lot. And I wanted to to put him in the slide because I thought he was really important in the reason why I'm so successful, because like having a mentor is like one of the most important things in the world, because you're going to have ups and downs in life no matter what. No one has a perfect life, so you need someone there to have support, to believe in you always. And that's my role too. So like being a mentor and being there for the community, like I always like, I tell people 24/7 out office hours. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. Like, I don't care. Like, I wake up at 4 a.m. anyways, you know? So like, whenever anyone needs anything, reach out for me, any kind of like, I mean, like anything. And I've had people reach out to me just to talk to me, to ask for recipes for like, you know, nutritious health recipes. I mean, like, cause like, you know, health is wealth, and you got to remember that it's not just like working out. It's also like making sure we reach out and we talk to people, and we have a strong support group, and we're, you know, listening to the right things, we're watching the right things, and we're covering like all the dimensions of health, and not just like thinking like, oh, working out is where health is at. No, when you finish your hour workout, you still have to go home and deal with the rest of the day. So like, there's no escaping it. You have to really like I told Ryan, I was telling him the same thing, like about gang banging. You can't be like a gang member and like put your foot in to like test the waters. You got to jump in all the way if you really want to be a serious gang member. And it's the same thing if you want to have like a serious, healthy life. You can't just dip your toe, and you got to go in all the way. So yeah, limiting yourself to any kind of, you know, negative things that are toxic in your life is obviously going to be the best. And yeah, if anyone needs any help at all, feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my email in the link. And like I said, I mean, my specialty is obviously, you know, training, physical exercise. I've had, you know, over 8 years personal training experience. So I can help in that way too, but also if anybody just needs to talk to anything or just support, you know, I'm here for that too. Yeah, you can go ahead and change the slide, please. So yeah, this is a slide. This is like recent, about 2 years ago. I'm there with my hands behind my back with the blue shirt. I went back to Los Prietos Boys Camp. I got invited from my old probation officer. She saw that I was doing well at City College, and she saw the Bar Life. I'm actually in the picture, you can't see it, but I'm actually wearing a Bar Life shirt, one of the first batches that I made. And my probation officer was extremely proud of me, and she wanted me up there to speak to the kids, you know. And I would have never thought that I'd be driving through the gates. I mean, I was so traumatized going through the gates, because I remember getting released and being so happy to go home. I never wanted to have to go through those gates again. But I went through those gates in a good, under good circumstances this time. And yeah, I went through those gates, and I drove up to the top there, and I got to talk to these gentlemen right here. And as you can see, I noticed right off the bat, the gentlemen weren't as like large in stature to like the homies that I dealt with when I was there. And it seemed from looking in their eyes, a lot of kids were dealing with a lot of mental health issues. So I approached the staff at the end of our little speech here. And the staff were saying, yeah, that a lot of these kids suffer from very severe mental like health issues. You know, we're talking, you know, schizophrenia, and like some of the, you know, the worst stuff you could deal with, and they're heavily sedated on medication. And it was really, you know, it could be some research done into that, how it has transitioned. And they've really taken control. The medicinal company has really taken control, and has everybody, you know, on some kind of pills. I don't know what's going on over there or what the whole deal is, but the kids looked very depressed and very sad. And I don't know if it's like they're saying because of this whole social media trend and kids going out there. But all I know is this, the kids were really impacted by it. They all reached out to me, and a few of them even emailed me and reached out to me when they got out, and I was able to provide them with the shirt and work out with them and keep them on good spirits, because it's what people need, and regardless what they're dealing with at the time, mental health. or whatever's going on. They just need to be told that they're incredible human beings and that they can do anything that they put their mind to. So you keep repeating that, and it's going to break through to someone. You know, I know that because I was one of the hardest heads out there, and it broke through to me. So I know that for a fact. And looking back at that day, it was a really incredible experience, and I would love to continue to do that. And moving forward, I don't know how Ryan wanted to go with this on time. I don't know. We probably finished a little early on the slides. So
yeah, we did finish early. So I was thinking that there is some questions coming in the chat, and whatever types of questions anyone has, please, chime in on the chat. Maybe you could break down, some of like your workout routine. And then from there we could jump into some of your healthy eating habit advice, and how to like maybe read like labels and stuff that's out there. I know you've helped us understand that, so I would appreciate it. Maybe you helped everyone else understand that stuff too. That'd be rad.
Yeah, definitely. So do you want me to like answer the questions, or do you want me to keep going?
You could just keep going into like your routine and stuff, and then towards the end we'll start to chime in on all these questions as they come in.
Okay. Yeah, so going into routine, I think the best thing to remember is the most underrated exercise is walking. And I say that because being a manic depressive, I've been diagnosed ADHD, manic depressive. I know I'm a real like seasonal person, and during the winter season, it's almost impossible for me to like I could drink coffee as much as I want and I will not feel pumped to work out. So I know the one thing I can do is walk. And walking, I mean, it can lead to so many other things throughout that day. It can motivate you to like continue stretching, maybe even go for a hike. It could lead to a run potentially, or maybe give you that motivation that you need. But the main thing is pumping that heart full of blood. So whether it's, like I said, something moderate intensity or high intensity, main thing is moving. So on a daily basis, I try to take only one day off to maybe relax, but Monday through Saturday, I try to recommend everyone to at least walk, bike ride for half an hour to 20 minutes, something small so you don't have to like freak yourself out. Get it done with early in the morning, that whenever you wake up, if you're not an early bird, whatever time you do wake up and just do it. You'd be surprised what small habits, how they lead to a much way bigger things. And I know that when the winter hit, if I wouldn't have kept moving, I would have just been dead, man. I mean, I don't know. I can't say, because I'm a person that really reacts to movement. So I mean, I go from like feeling like, oh, I can't even like, I feel like my soul's being pulled down to the ground, to just getting myself out the door. And when I come back, I feel like a whole new person. I mean, I'm not kidding, like just from a walk. And then that walk encourages me to like maybe move more throughout the day, or go for a run the next day. But yeah, definitely that walk is definitely important. That walking, always making sure you don't go a day without walking. I mean, you can take a Sunday off, but I personally wouldn't. Usually a day off is okay for most people, but I mean, movement is key to staying alive and staying healthy, and mental health, clarity, so you can work on all your assignments and get good grades. It's like mandatory. So yeah, walking. And then also when you're walking, making sure you're working on breathing exercises. So you're not like in your mind. Usually walking will get you out of your mind, but if you are, try to like live in the moment and make sure you're breathing, taking deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth, making sure you're flowing with your walk. You're taking deep breaths because your brain is pumping all that oxygen, and it makes a difference throughout your daily routine. So like if you're doing things, you'll feel a lot less, more tense and anxious if you just take 20 to 30 minutes to go on a walk and take some deep breaths. I can share some links with y'all on the Wim Hoffman, the Iceman, his techniques. I mean, those are the ones I use personally, but then it just comes down to taking nice deep breaths, and you could research that on your own. There's tons of stuff out there, but yeah, get up and walk every day. And then when you do get past the walking, you can start getting into like a routine, I always like to say keep it simple. And a lot of people have told me the term keep it simple stupid, and I don't even like to say the word stupid. I tell people I don't like to say that, the S word or the C word. The C word is can't. There is no can't. You know, you got to believe in yourself, and that comes down to just taking out of your vocabulary and making sure you stay away from people that use that vocabulary or any kind of that negative connotation, because you got to believe in yourself 100%, because you are the shit. Trust me, everyone out there, we're all equal. No one's better than anyone. And you really got to believe in yourself, and you got to make it happen. So once you get past that point and you feel like you can work out, yeah, keeping it simple is definitely key. So when Ryan comes over, I like to break it down to 3 exercises. Always, people are like, all right, we're going to do this, that, this. And they like to throw like 8 exercises, stringing it together. And that's cool. That's like if you want to do a different type of training. My bar life philosophy is all about keeping it simple. So what I like to do is on a daily basis is pick 3 exercises that are consistent around what muscle groups I want to work out. So like I'll try to work out the same muscle groups: upper body, core, and then obviously lower body, legs. And yeah, so I'll try to do 3 exercises upper body one day. You can typically skip a day, which you want to do, so you can rest, eat some good food. And then, so say you do Monday, you do upper body, 3 exercises, let's say push-ups, pull-ups, and dips, like me and Ryan do. You take a break Tuesday, you come back at it Wednesday, and then you do core, or you can do legs, whatever one you want to do. You're just going to switch it up each day, and then you switch it up each time. Like I'll write a blueprint next time. I'll be a little more prepared. This event, I was in the middle of midterms, so please excuse me, but I'll definitely create a little layout that you guys can follow, the simple layout. And it's basically keeping 3 exercises and then having a day or 2 off, and then getting back into it. So right now I've been sticking to that. So today will be lower body. I'll be doing legs. So I'll pick 3 exercises. I'll do jump squats. And people would be really surprised that if you do the exercise. So I had a question I saw that popped up there, and it's relevant to what I'm talking about. So no, I don't do weights. I'm all calisthenics, 100%. I believe it lasts longer. SB Bar Life is the name of my nonprofit, and the philosophy is all body weight. It's calisthenics, and calisthenics it's Greek for beautiful movement. So yeah, it's all about movements with the body and being innovative with what you have, you know, because you don't need anything to do body weights. That's what's cool. During the pandemic, that was good. You know, everybody was freaking out about the gyms and closing down, and I was like, we got chairs, we got pull-up bars, you know, there's pull-up bars everywhere too. You can pull up on trees, you can pull up, you know, don't be pulling up on stuff that doesn't have good support, but yeah, you can pull up on pretty much anything. So that's what's the beauty of it. You know, I've been on trips where I was in the middle of nowhere, but as long as there was a little ledge on the property that we were on, you know, you could do pull-ups. You know, you can pull your own body weight up and do different types of body weight. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. It's like really, really intricate. So it's all just comes down to how far you want to take it, you know. And I'm just really passionate about calisthenics. Other people do body weight, and do weights, and that's totally fine. But there's obviously a right and a wrong way to do fitness. You know, you don't want to be pushing yourself on, regardless, on either side, like to like the point where you're like exhausting your body, because then you're not going to make any gains. And that's what a lot of people do wrong, is they do calisthenics, they don't do it right, and they go, oh, this isn't for me. And then they do weights, and then they don't do it right, and they go, this isn't for me. And it's like, well, you know, if you didn't have someone there to coach you, or like watch YouTube videos and really try to push yourself on form, then you're not going to have fun with it, because your body's going to hurt, you know. So a lot of people, like myself personally, I didn't get into fitness until I was 18, 19. I didn't know how to do anything other than push-ups and what I learned at boys camp. Before that, yeah, I could not do a pull-up to save my life. And I learned how to muscle up, which is a pull-up on the bars, and then you get up over the bars, and then you do a dip, you know, explosively, all in one motion. So once I started learning these movements, I started unlocking the true like nature of believing in yourself. And one thing led to another, and I continued training, and I, mastered the rings. I mastered handstands, a lot of things that people think are impossible. And it could be the same for anyone in any degree too, whether it's weight room, whether it's, biking, hiking, whatever you have passion for, you got to have fun with it. The reason I feel like the bars really apply to my life is a lot of people that are doing bars, and it's called street workout in a lot of parts of the world, street workout, and females and males both do it. A lot of them are formerly incarcerated or systematically impacted. So I immediately, being incarcerated in juvenile hall so many years, I immediately found a sense of unity with the bar community, especially the people that were considering themselves street workout enthusiasts. And a lot of people from Brooklyn, New York, and I connected with a lot of people around the world, and just a lot of people that had similar background to myself, similar experiences, and if not even gnarlier experience, the worst experiences that I ever went through. And so seeing that really motivated me, and I saw myself being able to become one of these athletes. And I didn't give up. While I was going to school, would wake up early, and I would always devote myself to training before going to class. And like I said, anybody can find a passion, and as long as you're having fun with it, it's never going to get old. That's what I tell people. If bars aren't for you, which it's kind of like nonsense to say, because you can always do bars and then do something else. Like for me, I specialize in calisthenics and bar workouts, but you don't have to. You can come try my bar workouts, or you can try some of my workouts. And if you want to incorporate weights or incorporate biking or whatever the types of fitness, it's all good. It's all one. Fitness, health is wealth, so anything where you're pumping your heart is going to be good. And I think that's the key thing to remember. Like I said, is just trying to get going with walks. If you don't know what to do, like just start walking, walk, get lots of water, drink filtered water, try to pump yourself full of good water. And what was on the agenda after that, Ryan? Sorry.
We talk about some like eating routines and like some eating habits, and maybe suggest some things. And then also there was another really good question that Robert had brought up. Let's see here. Robert had said, how do you know when you are reaching your burnout point, and how do you deal with it?
So that's a good question. Yeah, everyone's going to be different. So when you know you're going to reach your burnout point, your muscles are fatigued, you aren't feeling right, and it could take, sometimes when you're burned out, when you stack so many workouts, month after month onto each other, sometimes you may need a week or a month. I know my shoulders got so locked up from doing handstands. My body spoke out to me, and I stopped doing handstands completely, and I haven't done them in about a month, but now my shoulders are feeling better. I was really anxious, and that's what I think it is. It's all about patience, because when something goes wrong with us, we're like, fuck that. I want to, excuse my language, we don't want to keep going. You don't want to stop. You don't ever want to quit because you don't want to lose any gains or anything like that. But that could be more detrimental to your health than if you were to just give yourself a break. So I think the ego is not your amigo. Motto is like really good to like always put in your head, like ego is not your amigo. Like if you're feeling like your body's fatigued, like get some better sleep, go do your studies, go meditate, go for a walk. There's so many other things you can do, so that way your body can get rest, so that when you hit your next workout, you can kill it. Yeah.
Awesome. Did that answer your question, Robert?
Did that answer your question?
Yeah. All right, cool. Right on. All right. And then just maybe like unpack some like healthy eating, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays have so much.
I don't think, I think with all the information that's out there nowadays, like I've seen a lot of like Netflix documentaries, and I've talked to a lot of people. So I feel like people are starting to become more aware. So then it just becomes down to having self-control. And it's easy to like lose self-control when you like don't eat something for a long time, and then you're just gonna go crazy when you see, when you finally see like that food that you've been depriving yourself of. So what I've done is I found healthy alternatives to eating all the foods I like to eat. You know, I'm talking like down to the junk foods, because there's M&Ms out there, there's sweets out there, they have no preservatives, and it's the same price. I don't care what anyone says. They're like, oh, it's more expensive. No, it's not. It's the same price. Now, if you go to Sprouts, Whole Foods is Sprouts is going to be the most affordable next to Trader Joe's, and then it's going to be Whole Foods, and then Lazy Acres. These are all four stores that are in these areas, and they're all in California too. So if you're in different parts of California, there's always a Sprouts, and man, is it affordable. I mean, like, they have some great stuff, and it changing the eating habits from like processed processed foods to not processed foods is gonna flush your body out, and you're gonna change like overnight. Within a couple months, you're gonna lose weight, you're gonna feel thinner, because the processed foods, they're processed, so they don't go through your body. They stick inside your body, and they stay inside you for years. I mean, you could eat some of those heavily foods with some of those chemicals that you can't even pronounce. I mean, that's what I was going to get into too next, is like, if you're reading labels and you're looking at the back of it and you can't pronounce it, then like, you probably shouldn't be putting it in your body. And if you want to do more research about it, then you can at that point. But the best part, I think, is to remember is to get food that just has whole ingredients, man. So like, when I get my popsicles, when I get my bread, it's always just flour, sugar, stated. You can get all that stuff now at the store. And once you start making that transition, like I said, man, it's going to make your body feel so much better. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to feel like working out when you usually don't, and on a day-to-day basis, are you saying something, Ryan? Ryan, were you saying something?
No, I wasn't saying anything, my bad.
Okay, my bad. So yeah, like, on a day-to-day basis, I like to eat a lot of eggs, and like meats, and I stay away from dairy. I eat a little bit of cheese here and there. I'll eat some they don't have organic cheese at Costco, but I get the Talbrook, and it's just like, really good non-processed cheese, so like, if people are like, oh, you're like that organic freak guy, and I'm like, nah, man, like, I'll eat basically In and Out as long as it's a lettuce wrap, and I know that I'm just getting the meat. I don't put special sauce in it, and the lettuce, so I go to In and Out and I get a 4x1 protein style with no bun, because there's no processed ingredients. I mean, there's a ton of processed ingredients in the bun, and if you get it without, then you have no processed ingredients. Then you're just getting the lettuce, the meat, and a slice of cheese that may have a little bit of, but it's a cheat meal for me, I find at that point. But still, I think the thing to stay away from, especially when we're talking about processed foods, is bread, because bread has milk. It depends. Everybody's different. I know for myself, I get very inflamed. My intestinal tract gets inflamed when I drink milk, because when I was in juvenile hall, they had me on a carton of milk for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it was already starting to give me diarrhea then. So when I got out, I found that even transitioning to the organic stuff and the good quality milk, it still just didn't sit right in my stomach. And so I went on to try different types of milks, and flavor wise, I was just like not having it. And then just recently I started trying oat milk, and it tastes like no different than dairy to me. I mean, it once you chill it and you put it in cereal, my son loves it. I have my girlfriend, we all eat it, the whole family eats it and loves it. They have a really good one, it's called Oatly, and it goes right through you, I mean, in and out, so that way you don't have to worry about feeling inflamed or feeling heavy. And it's also got so much less sugar. Yeah. So if you go to a lot of places, like I noticed coffee shops that I go to have alternatives. You just got to ask them, hey, can I have oat milk instead of regular dairy? And the main thing about dairy too is that it's, especially if you don't get it from a good source, it's been so genetically the actual hormones that they give the cows are going straight into the milk that you guys are drinking. So the RBST hormone that they put into all the cattle, it's going straight from the cattle right into the milk, And I was drinking that stuff for years, you know, so like you can change at any point. But I think like the main thing to remember is like when you're dealing with animal products, you really want to be as clean as possible, because, you know, the animals are treated so poorly that you you don't only want to be like supporting that. Two, it's just downright bad for you. You know, it could lead to, those RBSTs can lead to cancer, could potentially lead to, I've seen people have swollen lymph glands. It could potentially lead to so much more. So I did milk for a while, but now I just do oat milk. So that's what I drink on. That's what I drink on a daily basis, and I try to stay away from bread. I try to stay away from bread and tortillas. So being Mexicano, being Chicano, I grew up with a lot of tortillas, man. I mean, I was at one point 220 pounds. When I showed up to boys camp, I was like one of the biggest kids there. I couldn't even do like it took me like 2 weeks to finally do 20 push-ups that they had us, you know, doing every morning. You know, I was struggling when I first got there. Like, it was hard. So like I said, being Mexican, I ate a lot of corn tortillas, and as soon as I removed that from my diet, it was like day and night as well. I mean, I lost tons of weight. My mom doesn't even recognize me now. You know, the last, 5-6 years, she says I'm too skinny, and then she thinks I'm on drugs and stuff. And I'm just like, nah, ma, I'm just healthy. You know what I mean? Like, she sees my skin and how healthy I am. It's obviously different, but yeah, I had like bigger cheeks, man. Like, I was swollen to the, like, really, really swollen. I have pictures to prove it. And making that change to that non-processed food really helped me. And so no bread and no tortillas. Creatine, BCCAs, and whey protein. Like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. And as long as you get them from a good source, like I take a whey protein, I get it off Amazon, 5 pounds, grass fed. You gotta, you want to put the best in your body if you want to be the best. You know what I mean? So you are what you eat. Definitely, that's 110%. And that comes down to supplements too. Multivitamins I get all through natural supplements. I take like oyster extract pills, and I can get, if anybody has any questions, I can give links to all this stuff.
So yeah, we could open it up for questions. I see a lot of great questions coming in. So
yeah.
Anything, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you and you could chime in and have a little conversation too. But if you want to expand on what you were talking about the vitamins, that was really good information too.
Yeah, so the oyster extract is just basically crushed down oysters, and they have all the essential and non-essential vitamins, amino acids. We're talking the whole plethora. Everything is covered in these little pills, and that's what I usually take. I like to eat raw oysters too. So that's on top of eating the oyster extract pills, which are just crushed oysters, like the shell and everything. And they ship them from overseas, and they're recommended for pregnant women that need energy, but also males can take them as well if they're feeling like they need a libido boost. I'm 30 years old, and sometimes, I feel like I just kind of lost my mojo. I'm just like, oh man, I don't even and then I take one of those, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm ready to take care of my son, do my chores, my homework. So yeah, it's a real good boost. It's definitely essential to have those vitamins, yeah, for sure. And there's other things too, like I gave Ryan some cordyceps the other day. Those are like another food supplement, I would say. They're not made in the like factory or anything. It's all natural. All it is, cordyceps is just a mushroom. It's a mushroom that's crushed down, and you put it in your coffee or smoothies for enhancement. And these things are getting really big. If you go to websites or any of these health websites or anything like that, everything is starting to explode. Even if you go to Sprouts, as you walk in, they're like shelling you like all kinds of different mushrooms and stuff like that. And the best thing to do is not get afraid when you see these new products, is to approach them. And they're pricey sometimes, but try them, because if it's a whole food and it's promoting something that could potentially help you, why not try it? That's how I looked at it, because I was like, dang, some of these are expensive, And then I tried it and I was like, wow, man, I'm so glad I bought this. Like so happy. Like I would never thought some of these superfoods. And if you look at cultures around the world, a lot of them are eating these superfoods. Like Brazilians, they have the acai. If you look at like a lot of the Brazilians, they're like in really good shape. Their immune systems are working really good. And that's just one example. You know, I mean, you have the Africans that eat the crushed root. What's the root called? Not the maca root. But anyways, this root that they crush the Africans, it's a substitute. It's the I'm gonna have to get back to you. And, yeah, the kavasa. There you go. And so it's a substitute for tortilla. And so like it tastes the same thing, you know, and there's no difference, but it's so extremely healthy to you. And if you look at the African, if you look at their culture as a whole, they're so healthy, you know what I mean? And they have I mean, over there, not here, but because of the processed foods, they have, you know, the lowest like heart rates and stuff like that in these countries, you know, so heart disease rates and stuff like that. So some of these foods are just like straight up superfoods, and if you tap into them, you're unlocking, you know, some heavy stuff. So yeah,
That's what's up. Thank you so much, Louis, man. Like this has been really dope. I'm happy that you shared all this with us, especially, you
yeah, I
know,
love talking, man,
in our studies and stuff. Like, what is some other
especially about
way
this.
to like really, you know, stay on point with your studies? Like you mentioned meditation. Do you
Hmm.
have like exercises that you use throughout the day that like meditation wise, just to kind of be in the moment? You said that at one point too, was how to be
Hmm.
in the moment. Cause you know, for myself, I struggle with being in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm thinking ahead. I'm planning papers when I'm sitting there eating, and you know, and all these types of, you know, types of things. I know they're not the best you know, ways to go about studying and doing things. So how do you
Hmm.
like get past some of that stuff?
Yeah, I was having a really big problem with it myself, and I reached out to a mentor, and he told me he holds the world record for heaviest handstand push-up. His name's Little B Stem. You can look him up on Instagram, and you know, I stay in touch with him. And I was, you know, going through some stuff, you know, and I was like, man, I'm just like really not motivated, and I really like I'm hating myself for not training. And he told, like, look, as long as you have your family, you have everything. In the morning, if you don't feel like working out, meditate. So just like what I like to do, this is my personal meditation. I'm sure everybody's different, but I like to get into a squatting position early in the morning before anyone wakes up, and just come in the morning in the living room and just squat. And it really relieves like any kind of like lower back pains I have throughout sleeping through the night. And I'm able to close my eyes and kind of just like bring myself into the moment. And then that kind of sets the like routine for like the stretching routine. And then I start rolling out my back. I get the ball out, and people are like, oh, you know, they're so discouraged to do these things because they think they believe it takes so long. But honestly, like some days I get a minute in the roller, some days I get 5. As long as you're on it though, you're making some progress to like recovering your body, and just getting in the habit of meditating, so that way you can get your studies completed. Especially, like I said, it's a good thing. That's a great way, like the best way to set the pace for the whole day is in the morning, meditating yourself, taking deep breaths. And the main thing is believing in yourself and knowing that you got this, you know what I mean? And if you need anyone to believe in you, then I'll be that person to believe in you. Yeah, spot like in the parole picture, homie. Yeah, so if you need anyone to believe in you, I'll be that person, man. I believe in you. I'm telling you, anyone that's watching this right now, you're fucking great, man. You're like epic. So like keep doing what you're doing. And like if you don't feel like you're worth anything, like you need to turn that around, because you are worth like so much more than you believe in, man. Like you don't even know what God has for you in the future, man, or the higher power that you believe in. So like just hang in there, and you're gonna make your goals come to life, man. Your dreams come true. And yeah, like I said, I'll be there to believe in you and supporting you. And yeah, and I'm sure like, you know, Ryan would too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's what's up. That's perfect, homie. Like, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Louis. And then, so I kind of want to open it up. Is there any other, you know, people who have joined us that have maybe some of their health tips, anything that they would like to share you know, some knowledge too, so we could all, you know, just kind of chime in. So if you do, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up so you can just unmute yourself. Let me see here. I'll be having this like super secure and stuff. Yeah, we dealt with some Zoom bomb stuff one time. It was really messed up. I couldn't believe it. So go ahead and unmute yourself if you have some ideas that you would like to share with us, or some concepts or your ways of doing things too that maybe didn't get covered today in this workshop.
Hey, Luis, gracias. There was a lot of good information. So, what's going on with me is I'll be 53 years old. My metabolism shut down. I'm at 270 pounds. I'm just obese and I'm borderline diabetic. So on May 23rd, I'm having the sleeve done, the surgery, so I could drop some weight. But as of last week, I started my rutina. I ordered the creatine, I ordered the whey, I ordered the aminos. I'm gonna get back into my prison routine because it's really disciplined, right?
Yes,
That's why I
sir.
was asking about that. Like multivitamins. Maybe I don't know if you could send a link on what's good. Like you were talking about those oysters. I'm not a seafood person, so maybe a pill would do good. But yeah, like I'm taking fish oil. Um,
Oh, beautiful.
I have pins in my right ankle, so it's filled with arthritis, and so I can't really walk long distance because of the weight. But after the surgery, I'm hoping things are gonna get better. But I love all the information you're giving. I drink protein in the morning and a sensible dinner now. So I dropped 4 pounds from my last visit, but it's just like I need some recommendations on
You're
intake.
doing incredible already, man. Just keep it up, bro. Like I'll send you some recommendations through us looking through some of my old sources and stuff like that, and then you can take a look at it. And also, man, like you're already doing incredible. Just don't stop believing in yourself and take it one day at a time. And if you can't walk, man, just get outside in the morning, take a deep breath, and just know that you're doing everything you can, bro. And just keep stacking it up, keep raising that bar. You know what I mean? We all drop the ball at some point. Like I said, I'm manic depressive, so sometimes I get really like nah, I don't want to work out, and then I start getting lazy with my good habits, and I start eating bad food and stuff that I normally wouldn't eat. And the thing is just pull yourself out of that ditch. And as you pull yourself out of that ditch, you're going to get better at it. And that's what I've done. I just no, it's never going to get perfect. We're never going to just always feel motivated. But like I said, I believe in you, man. And I know you're going to do good things. So like, I could tell by the seriousness of how you're ordering stuff and how you just joined this event, and you're listening to it. So like, just keep it up, man. You're doing great. I believe in you.
Hey, I had something also. I had to sleep also too because I found out that I was pre-diabetic, and that the reason I had gained a lot of weight when I was in undergrad at Berkeley, and I found out that my body wasn't metabolizing sugar, so I can't eat bread, I can't eat starch, I can't eat another. No sodas, no nothing. So the sleep also is a real lifestyle change, because once you get to sleep, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed the taste of food, right? So like I take one bite and I'm full. Like the first year was the hardest year to get through. But you got to stick through it, you know what I'm saying? Like I literally just fell off like last 6 months in a sense because of shelter in place and school got hectic. I'm in graduate school now. School got really overwhelming. But some of the things I did was like basically like it's hard. I've been having a hard time getting back on track. That's the thing. I need to get back on track, but I had a trainer for like 2 years because if I can't, I had to pay him because I couldn't motivate myself sometimes. So I had to have somebody else help motivate me. But once I get motivated, once you get on track, it's hard to fall off. But when you fall off, it was really hard to get back on.
Right.
One thing I suggest doing too is like a cleanse, like cleansing. Like I feel like when I get ready to get back on track, I want like a clean my body. And I want to do like a cleanse that gives you energy, not like a lemonade cleanse, but like
small like changes. It looks like you've already made some big changes in your life, so you're on the right page.
I was over 250. in that picture. I was 250 pounds in that picture next
That's
to
incredible. I'm extremely amazed. You're
I'm
doing
like
incredible. I'm
1
so
now.
proud of you. Thank
you.
you for sharing that. And just don't be too hard on yourself then, because look what you've done. Like I said, there's so much to be proud of, man. And I'm super proud of what you've accomplished. And that's super encouraging to the guy, to who we just talked to. And small changes, you know, for everyone, for me, for you, for everyone. You know, don't think that you're gonna, like, if you're feeling bad, that you're gonna come out of it overnight. You know, sometimes it may take a few days, like I said, sometimes it may take a few months, but to make these small changes by just like getting yourself up and not letting yourself completely fail and go into that state of depression where you're not moving because then you're dying, then you know you're still there, you're still winning. So small changes, don't get too overwhelmed with them, and always have a strong support group. That's, like you said, the personal trainer. Like, you don't have to pay me. I'll be here. I'm for part of the Underground Scholars now, so I'm here to motivate y'all forever. $2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm out here in the Bay Area, but you know, I'm around. Like,
yeah, if you join our events, we're gonna be having more of them in the future. So, you know, I'm gonna be here constant to encourage you guys and motivate you guys. And if you fall off, you know, make those small steps to just get back on. You know, that's all you can do. If you try to overwhelm yourself with trying to, like, you're gonna make yourself feel terrible, because you're gonna be like, why am I not doing this? Why? And it's just like, you know, you sit there and ask yourself why all day, instead of just putting in the past and just getting up and doing it. Don't ask yourself why. You'll find reasons to ask yourself why all day. I mean, till you go to sleep, and then until the next day starts, the next day. And just do it. Just do. Don't think. That's what I tell Ryan when we're working out and we're doing our sets. Like, oh, let's just do it. Just don't think. Just get into it. Because the sooner you finish your workout, the sooner then you can get on to other things. And so, that's why, like, setting the pace with a morning meditation, you can kind of set your goals on what you're going to get completed throughout the day, and then stick to them. Because if you don't meditate, you kind of have goals when you wake up, and then all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and in bed. And then, you know, you didn't get anything done. So at least if you wake up, meditate, and do a couple of stretches, 3 stretches. Don't go crazy. Like, oh, you need to do like 18 stretches. Just do 2-3 stretches that you like to do. And let that be like your starter. Like, let that be like the key that starts, you know, the ignition for the day. So yeah, I'm super proud of what you've accomplished. And thank you for sharing that. That's incredible. Yeah.
for those who don't like drinking water, try using this.
Lots of water.
Thing. I got this thing that measures your water.
Yeah. If you just drink water and walk, you'll begin to lose weight within a few weeks, because that water really pumps through your metabolism, gets your whole body operating right. Like, I'd say it's the oil to, like, you know, your engine. I mean, exactly. So, like, if your body was like operating like a car, you got to keep it running smoothly. You got to be constantly putting oil in it. So water is that oil, man. Keep pounding it. It makes your brain run smoother. And if you are taking fish oils, because I know he mentioned fish oils, Cheech. So, like, if you're taking fish oils, the water is going to really help push all that through your body, man. It's going to help. Yeah. All the supplements and everything that you're taking, it's just going to increase that. Water is always going to be your best friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Luis. We really appreciate you. And then I see somebody was chiming in right now too.
Thank you so much, Luis. I'm so glad. Hi. I'm so glad that you've shared all of this. You're right on point. I love that you're focusing on this now so that you can avoid things later on in your life. Like, you know, like Cheech was saying, you know, we get to that pre-diabetic stage. Especially being now at home and not moving as much, there are some things that creep up. Like for me, a couple of months ago with the blood pressure and stuff, and for the most part, I focus on my nutrition, but I didn't like to exercise, even though I know like the runner's high is equal to like drugs, you know, the endorphins, you know, released in your brain. But then I started walking just a little bit. Even going to the mailbox was like, oh, I used to get my little scooter, you know. Lisa knows my little scooter.
I've been there.
And then walk little by little until I reached a mile, you know, and my husband would encourage me, come on, let's go. And then after a few weeks, a mile wasn't enough. It's like, let's keep going. Like time on my watch.
Exactly what happened.
so good.
Yeah.
And now I've lost 13 pounds so far in a few months.
Wow.
I've drank a lot of water. I have a lot of energy. And one thing, when I worked in mental health, I know that meditation is so important. And sometimes when you have trouble focusing, I know that I used to teach the breathing, like you see a baby when he breathes from here, right?
Correct.
And we forget we breathe from here.
Mm-hmm.
So we take our breath back down to our solar plexus. You get to relax, you bring your blood pressure down, and you meditate.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very key to breathing.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't mention that, but yeah, really taking an actual breath, because if you're not taking it from the diaphragm and you're not bringing it in, then it's really, like you said, just not doing as much as it could be. So, I mean,
it sets your tone. And then the other thing that I know that in, at least in San Diego County, that the culture, you mentioned the culture part. And a lot of times, like our Latino boys are the most obese because why? People eat all of your food, eat everything on the plate. And we don't realize, right? And all of this junk food, or sometimes because it's cheaper. And that's the culture of poverty. I learned at a workshop that culture of poverty, when you're poor, you don't know if you're going to have, your next meal. So eat it all because it's there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we'll eat what we have, and then we put some away. And then the rich is just all about presentation, like the little fig with the little leaf, whatever, right?
Yeah, I was very lucky. My mother, she was very willing and open-minded, because a lot of mothers that come from Mexico, they're like lard and like super old school, and like, this is the way it's done. This is the cheapest way. It's not. And my mom was like, well, okay, so like now instead of manteca, she uses coconut oil on all her dishes, and like, it was really like empowering to like give that to her, because now that I live on my own, she's still using all those tools that I gave her, and her doctor's telling her that her diabetes is getting good. Both of my parents suffer from diabetes. They're diabetics. My dad's a type 1 and my mother's a type 2. So like, I really have to be careful, even myself, even during the holidays, when I start to eat a lot of sweets and I'm not exercising as much, because even if I'm in good health, if I go a couple months, it could hit me at any point, especially as I'm getting older and my metabolism is slowing down. So yeah, thank you for sharing that information.
That's exactly right. Your metabolism starts slowing down. So you want to take care of it, like you say, when you're focusing on it now. I'm so happy that you are, because diabetes is in our culture. And then I hear you out there where Black mothers too, like you said, yep, we like butter and bread. I love bread and cheese. So
that's the thing. So with butter, as long as you're getting like a good a source for your butter, then there's new studies on it that is actually good for your heart. So like, if you're getting, I like to use Kerrygold's grass-fed butter, and I still use it like the normal. I just use it sparingly, but it's butter, so like, it's the most delicious thing ever, and you don't have to like take these things out of your diet. I just feel like if you used a really high substitute, then you can still eat them. And it's crazy because the products over the years have went down in value so much that, I mean, like, I'm telling you, this stick of butter, you're like thinking, oh, it's probably like $20. It's like $2.99 for like a big stick. And they sell it at Costco now. So you can't get away from any of this stuff. And they're finding that it's actually good for your heart, and that it's good for your metabolism, like for your body and your being. So because a lot of people have this negative connotation on butter. Oh, it's so bad for you, got to stay away from it. But again, that's one of those things that if you get that's an item specifically that if you do get a high quality grass-fed butter, then you're gonna actually be eating like a superfood, because our brains are made of butter, and they need all the omegas and that are in these butters and these fats. So yeah.
And that's a good point you said, of not omitting certain things, because diet is what we eat. And some people think, oh, I don't believe in going on a diet, because that just means you cut out stuff.
Don't ever.
What, in your whole lifestyle, it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing, and that's awesome that you lost so much weight, and keep it up. Keep up the walking, and it was very encouraging to hear you talk I'm going to use all your guys' motivation. Everybody I talk to, I'm going to use you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be using you in my head and just telling myself that I'm going to kill it.
Hey, make sure you cite them though.
Yeah, I'll definitely cite you.
Oh gosh.
Make sure you use the citations correctly, homie. APA
Right.
format.
Yeah.
I'm
MLA
having
or
trouble
APA,
with
yeah.
that now, Ryan. I'm having such trouble with that right now. Oh
Oh,
my
you-
gosh.
all of
You got it.
All
Just
of us.
believe in yourself. We all,
Yeah, we
trust
got
me,
this,
man.
though.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
turn stuff in and I don't even know how I got passing grades back on it. You know, just believe in yourself, believe in your work always, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's working out, whether it's family work, just believe in it. You know what I mean? And if you drop the ball, pick it back up. And if you can't, call one of us and we'll help you pick it back up, man. Always here to support you guys, you know, so.
And,
Yeah.
and you know what? I think that if anything, some of us could be put on the formerly incarcerated student network so that we can just kind of share all this stuff on there. That's, you know, that's how we reach out to all the formerly incarcerated students across California. So I'll take everyone's emails, you know what I'm saying, and put it up on there. I know Shalita, like, that's awesome to see you. You know, I didn't even recognize you. I was like, dang, that's, you know, I didn't even, so like, I'm super proud of you and all your successes and everything that you're doing for your health. But some of us are new to the network, like Cheech. I'm not sure if you're on there, but we'll reach out to Danny and get everyone plugged into the formerly incarcerated student network, because I'm sure that's how you heard about this Health is Wealth, because I'd sent it out over there. So good to see everyone today.
That's how I got it.
Awesome. All right, cool. So I'm going to plug everyone in and I'll get everyone's email and get everyone signed up to the formerly incarcerated student network email thread. And you'll be able to receive these emails. And then Luis, when you have time, you know, I know you're in midterms and stuff. You know, you could put together a food list and all that stuff. And as soon as I get
Definitely
up on there, you'll be able to share all that with everyone. I feel that these workshops are powerful and they're working to uplift us. And I just really appreciate you taking time out your midterms and everything that you got going on over there, raising your son as a single father and just everything you're doing to really bless us with your knowledge. Thank you. And it was great to be in community with everyone today. Health is wealth, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to speak to you guys. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, Ryan, for plugging me in like this and getting me back on the track, because it's been a year or two, I have to be honest, since I've been out there in the bars motivating people, and I really miss it. Things took a turn for the worse, obviously, during this pandemic, and even before that, being a single father, like you said, has its obligations. So I had such a blast talking to you guys, and I hope I get to do this more often, and that this becomes something that we're, you know, doing on the regular basis, whether it's like for 30 minutes, like I said, as long as I can touch bases and share some more information about health and how it is wealth for you guys. And I would love to, you know, keep coming back. And thank you for coming, and thank you for the opportunity, Ryan.
Definitely. And you can also follow us on our Underground Scholars Santa Barbara YouTube channel, and you can check out all of our old previous workshops. And this one will be going up on there as well, so that you can tap back into this and get the tips that we're given today. So, all right, everyone. Well, that's the end of this workshop, unless anybody else has anything they would like to add to it. Thank you for joining us today. It was a great honor.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you, Luis. That was so awesome. Very informative.
One love, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
All right, stay healthy. Take care.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of aging adult services.